This is my evaluation of the Eugene Public Library's teen space in Eugene, Oregon. This is an overview of the placement and entrance to the teen space. You can see in the top right here, we've got kind of a picture taken from roughly right where you enter, kind of off to the left-hand side. You can see the entrance to the space. Below that, I've got the sign for the Young Adult Center, as it is formally called. And then the big picture on the left is kind of a closer view. There's this little island thing. I'm realizing I have a mouse. There's an island here that kind of divides the space from the rest of the library, but there are still walkways around it and plenty of space to get through. You can see kind of some of the space behind it. There's the wall of computers. We've got tables and chairs over here with the reference station. Over to the left here is where the book collection is. Here's said left-hand side. This is where the collection is. There's a little thing over here for like monthly reads and things, as well as teen Lucky Day books, which are like new items. We've got a couple displays. And then back behind here, there are some seating underneath these windows and a cork board, which I believe teens can go and put things on. I've got some closer pictures of the stacks. There's more seating over here. It's a generally open space, and there are signs throughout that welcome other patrons to come view the young adult collection, but primarily the teen space is for teens, and the collection is kind of off to the side here, which allows people to get through, even if they are not teens, but it's still very much part of the teen space. There's also a cabinet over here with some shelves that have board games and puzzles for in-library use, so that when teens come in and they want to spend some time but they don't have anything in particular, they're welcome to play with the games or puzzles, which I have seen many teens do during my time coming to the library. This is a better view kind of behind the stacks of the collection. There's the seating there and the windows open to the lobby of the library building. And then on the right, there's the cork boards. There's a couple little blurbs about some of the teen librarians, although they don't specifically say they are teen librarians. They're just library staff. And there, on the right cork board, there's a bunch of resources, local resources that are available, as well as events and things that teens might be looking for. In the past, I have seen these cork boards covered with art, covered with teen-created flyers, and more community events, but it looks like they must rotate through. This is the right-hand side of the teen library space. There is a wall of computers. There used to be more, but there are currently only 4 due to continued COVID precautions. There is more window seating, as well as a large whiteboard that teens can draw on, as well as more flyers. There's some teen artwork hung up on the whiteboard currently. And there are drawers and shelves full of various items that teens can take and use. Some of these I imagine are for in-library use, though some of them are definitely designed so that teens can take them if they need them. This view also shows some of the alternate chairs that can be moved, as well as some charging stations and electrical ports in these things. You also get a bit of a glimpse of one of 2 seats that are like partitions on the side so that they offer a little bit more privacy. This is a close-up on the drawers previously seen. There are a lot of art supplies, things like paper, duct tape, and string, as well as like glue, and then a little bit more out there art supplies that are very tailored to things like embroidery floss or scrapbooking stickers. And then this entire left-hand side has a bunch of resources that teens can take if they need them, which shows that the library is taking note of the patrons that come in and what they might need and offering them without having to talk to a librarian first. I thought this was really interesting to note because this didn't used to be there and it is now, which obviously shows that they are paying attention to the community and things that teens may have said they needed and couldn't get access to. Here's another view of the whiteboard where you can see more of the flyers for both library activities and non-library activities, as well as a couple teen creations, I imagine, and teen artwork to show that there is some space for teens to bring their own designs, but currently not super full. This is another view just sort of the center of the space. There are those tables and chairs that all have wheels so they can be moved around. You can see the two cubbies clearer for the sort of privacy space, but that's as much as this library space offers for individual space. I guess you can use the seats back behind the collection as well, but then you will also run into people who are using the collection. Here's the last set of images I would like to share. This was some of the signage I saw around the space. There's a large banner sort of sign kind of at the entrance to the teen space that welcomes them in and clearly establishes that this is a teen space for ages 13 to 19. It has, on the backside, it has a list of rules that are pretty much in keeping with the rest of the library space, but once again iterates that this is a teen space. There's also on the right, you can see a variation of this for seating is for teens only, browsing is for all, saying that everybody is welcome to look at the collection, but things are in this area are specifically for teens. This is also mirrored on signs on the table as well as on the internet, on the computers. While the young adult collection is present in the teen space and available for all, the overall space itself is clearly marketed, targeted, designed, and reserved for teens only. Some other points that I mentioned in my paper but didn't have specific images for are that there's always a librarian on staff at the reference desk. Even if it is not a dedicated teen librarian, there is always a librarian present, and the desk is designed in a way that invites people to come and ask questions from any direction. There is technology present, such as the wall of computers that used to have more but now has a little bit less, and all of the charging stations that are available throughout the space. Some of my suggestions included moving the young adult collection to the other side of the space where it didn't used to be a teen space, and then moving that part of the teen space over into where the collection is, as it might, with more windows, it might feel a little bit more homely and private for the teens. I also discussed adding more decorations and more spaces for teen artwork, as it is a little bit lacking currently. And finally, I discussed how events and programming aren't really held within the teen space. They are held in different meeting or event rooms within the library or off-site, and how there aren't really any dedicated teen meeting spaces that aren't just the middle of the space. And that about concludes what I talked about in my paper and my little slideshow of pictures. Thank you for watching.